Hey, this is What You're All About with another video review looking at the Tiger Concept Homage to the Rolex DSSD, or the Deep Sea Dweller. As you can see, it's an impressive watch on the wrist. It's very chunky, very heavy, but it's also very well made and has a high spec for the price. The price at the time of this review for this version, which is the high beat movement, is $199 plus $15 postage. You can get a low beat version as well, which is a bit cheaper, but I decided to go for the high beat purely because I love the 28.8K beats per hour movement, and I love being able to see how smooth the second hand is, as you can see there. Very nice. Okay, so let me take it off and we can have a look at it in depth a little bit more. So if we start from the front, let me get some focus. So first of all, you're met with a nice domed sapphire crystal. There doesn't appear to be any anti-reflective coating, but because it's domed, it does help with the reflections a little bit. If it was flat, it would show more reflection. So it's got a nice subtle dome to it, which also aids viewing angle, gives you a bit more angle, being able to read the dial. Surrounding that is a nice ceramic bezel. The numbers are engraved into it. They could be finished a little bit better. For instance, the 4 and the 0 of the 50 could be done a little bit nicer. Also, there's a very slight mark. I'm trying to see where it is. It's hard to see now, but when I get the macro lens on, you'll be able to see it. It's just something that quality control should have picked up, really. So the dial is a matte black dial with these snowflake hour markers and the snowflake hands, which I really like. I think it makes it a little bit different to the Rolex, usually with the Mercedes hands. But I really like the snowflake hands. Gives it a little bit extra. The date window is just punched in, but it's got a nice curve to it. It's not just a plain chop out square, so it gives it a little bit more depth. Looks a little bit nicer finished as well. There's a sterile rehaut around the face as well. Usually with the Rolex you have writing up there and down there as well, but this is sterile. But it's still very nicely machined, and you can see the finishing of it is quite nice as well. So the case is brushed at the top and brushed at the bottom, and then polished on the sides, and this is to match with the bracelet as well. So the bracelet's polished on the sides and then brushed on the top and on the bottom as well. The case back has just a normal screw-in case back, and it has this nice matte black finish in the centre as well. Sterile, but it looks nice. I do like it. It's very nice. And you can see here the brushing as well in that circular pattern. The crown is sterile, nice and shiny as well. And on the other side we have a helium release valve, which does appear to do something, because if you can see there, as I poke it, you can see it moving. So it does appear to do something. Whether it is an official helium release valve, I don't know if it really works or not. If I unscrew the crown, it's got nice thick threading, and also it's nice and reassuring to see it's got a nice thick rubber gasket as well, which will aid with its water resistance. As you can see, the movement is hacking, has a hacking function, and it feels nice when you're changing the time and the date as well. It feels really good in the hand. Usually with some Chinese movements and Chinese watches, whenever you change the time, you sort of wince and think, oh, the crown could just snap off in my hand. They feel like a wobbly and not very good quality, but it's not the case with this watch. It does feel really good and reassuring. So yes, very impressed so far. I'll just screw that back up. So the bracelet is very impressive as well, especially the clasp. It's easy to resize because it's got screw-in links, I mean, it took me a matter of minutes to resize this, as long as you've got the right tools for the job. A very thin flathead screwdriver, but the clasp is really good. It's really well finished. Feels good when you're closing it and opening it. It's like it's not going to pop off. The interior is all very well finished as well. Fits together perfectly, but also has a very neat system for minor adjustments. So if I show you this, you just flap this bit up here, and then this allows this to slide in and out. So once you've got a size which is just right for you, just push that down and then it's locked. And then lift it back up, slide it all the way in and lock it again. So if I show you inside, it's very well done, and it really makes this watch stand out because of these little extras that you wouldn't usually expect. So if I lift that up, you see here these teeth. They grip onto that little tiny tab in there. So when you push it down, it locks onto it, and then it won't move. So yeah, very impressive. Okay, so let me get the macro lens on, and then we can have a look at it in closer detail. Okay, so here we go. So the printing on the dial is all very good. These are all loomed as well, but they don't have a great amount of loom, but that's just as you would expect in a Chinese watch. The hands are very well finished. As you can see, they're pretty much flawless. Oh, see my big dirty fingerprint, let me just wipe that off. And then let's look at the bezel. So you can see majority of it is quite well finished. That's just my dirty fingerprint on it again, so you can ignore that. But then as we go over here, you see, as I mentioned before, that could probably be finished a little bit better. And the 4 as well. And that's the mark I mentioned earlier as well. It's very hard to see, it's just something that you wish they had fixed or replaced before. So yeah, that's the bezel. The edging, the grip is well machined as well. Actually, gives you good grip. That's the crown. You see the nice matte finish of the dial. And here's the helium release valve. And if I show you the matte finish of the case back as well, again with my fingerprints on. Case back is very, very nicely machined, you see that? Good finishing on that. Okay, so let's have a look at the bracelet is very good. I do like the bracelet a lot. And here's the clasp. Just little bits like this, the way that the centre is brushed and then the edges are polished. Obviously they didn't have to do that, but it's nice that they did. And then let me open up see that bit moving. And then this bit pops in and out like that. It's got a very nice action to it. So yeah, it's a very good watch for the money. Let me take this off again. I would highly recommend it if you're willing to spend $215 for a decent DSSD Homage, I would recommend this. I think there's not many homages like this offering this high level of specs for this price, so I would recommend it. And it came pretty quickly as well from Tiger Concept. I ordered it on their eBay website, eBay account, and it came very well packed as well, so I can't complain at all. So yes, that's my thoughts on it. If you want more details and have a look at the review I wrote up on the website, watchitallabout.com. Okay, so that's me signing off.